We have just about 3 more months to go until Resident Evil Requiem launches, and even without much gameplay and story details revealed since its debut trailer this past summer, Capcom recently spilled a ton of information about this upcoming game over the past few days. From calling out fake posts of potential character appearances, to showing great confidence in its PC version, to a massive interview revealing many things like character cameos, the reliance on stalker enemies, to a potential Resident Evil Outbreak remake and more, this is an update you're not gonna wanna miss. Boulder punch that like button into oblivion if you're stoked about Resident Evil 9, and go ahead and try your luck in my giveaway of the title, where you could be one of 3 winners of the Deluxe edition of Resident Evil Requiem. Also, score big when you purchase a tub on Supps, as for a limited time only, you'll receive a complimentary shaker with your purchase. All details are provided in the description. There have been tons of leaks and rumors regarding the existence of Leon S. Kennedy in Resident Evil 9, with infamous rumor monger Dusk adamant that this skilled suplexer would serve as one of the title's protagonists alongside Grace Ashcroft. Well, in an interview with Stevivor, producer Masato Kumazawa acknowledges the speculation and outright denies some of the biggest, quote, leaks that have circulated online. Apart from any official information that Capcom has released, the rest is more detective work on the part of the players, Masato told Stevivor. So I would suggest to please not take everything at face value. The producer continued with, considering that now is the time when AI can be used to make videos and photos, we don't know what's right or what's wrong. It's just that players are free to believe what they would like to believe. What I'd like to tell is that, please, unless it's officially released from Capcom, we can't give you any confirmation. And yeah, Masato is completely right here, because even if Leon is in the game, do you think they just outright confirm these leaks and rumors before officially revealing the character in the game? Absolutely not, so it's best not to expect Leon or any other characters to be in here that have not already been confirmed by Capcom. More on potential cameos from previous RE protagonists later on, as Capcom has confirmed this in a later interview. But returning to these leaks that have specifically mentioned Leon, Masato put to rest the validity of some of these leaks with, quote, there has been a photo lately of Leon with an eye patch, and just basically saying there's a new DLC or new costume for Leon. But just to make sure, these are all fake news. So yeah. Don't get your hopes up, my people, and this goes for literally every leak or piece of insider information in general, and in this case, Dusk, as his claims about numerous remakes in the works, and the recent claim about RE9 getting at least one substantial DLC should all be taken as nothing more than unconfirmed speculation. Moving on. Capcom has seen more and more success with its PC releases over the years, with this year's Monster Hunter Wilds having done exceptionally well on that platform. Well, at least at launch. But with that version's poor optimization and terrible user reviews, that game has really been suffering on the platform, with 98% of its Steam player base lost. Now, there are other reasons why some players didn't particularly enjoy Monster Hunter Wilds, like its lackluster endgame and more, but in regards to Resident Evil Requiem, according to its latest Q&A report, Capcom said that it does not anticipate RE9 will experience similar issues. Resident Evil Requiem differs from Monster Hunter Wilds in terms of gameplay, system architecture, and network features, Capcom said. At present, we do not anticipate similar risks. We are developing the game to provide a smooth gaming experience across a wide range of PC specifications. While it's impossible to see if this game's PC version will perform great at launch, at least previous Resident Evil titles have had decent launches on Steam, and with Wild's overwhelmingly negative reputation on that platform, let's hope Capcom really sticks the landing for Resident Evil Requiem's PC performance come launch. Moving on to more exciting stuff with Resident Evil 9, Australian outlet Well Played had a chance to sit down with Resident Evil 9 producer Masato Kumazawa, where a lot of big things were revealed about this upcoming title, from the amount of stalker enemies present to whether there would be a merchant to cameo appearances and more. Starting with the utilization of stalker enemies, a somewhat contentious topic within the Resident Evil fandom due to Capcom's reliance on them in their last several games, Well Played asked Masato how challenging it has been on striking the right balance with these enemies to make sure players don't get frustrated, with Masato explaining, quote, "I understand how there are a lot of opinions surrounding the stalker, but we are giving a survival horror experience. We did learn from the past on how to balance it. We're trying not to make it a main part. It's like a small part of the game. The most important thing is that because the game is new, we wanted to focus more on trying to scare the player in many different ways. Providing that players can be involved in many different kinds of situations, we're just trying to cover a whole lot of scenarios to make sure the players can get scared and experience the horror." So for those who take issue with the abundance of stalker enemies or sections that previous games had, mainly the Bakers from Resident Evil 7, Lady D, and the Fetus from Resident Evil 8, and sections from previous remakes, the confirmation that these sections only represent small portions of Resident Evil 9 should be good news to those who take issue with them. When done well, I find these sections to be really fun, especially when playing with these enemies' AI, so let's hope that we see some good improvements in the dynamism in these sections here in Resident Evil Requiem. Moving on to potential cameos that may be featured in Resident Evil Requiem, and a question regarding the potential for more characters from Outbreak showing up in Requiem, with Grace being the daughter of Alyssa Ashcroft from Resident Evil Outbreak, RE9 producer Masato Kumazawa said, quote, "I would say that yes, there are going to be some characters from the past series to come in, but don't over-expect or hype it. We can't promise anything about that, but the only thing I can say is that there will be characters that have been involved in the Raccoon City incident involved in the game. This is about the closest thing we've gotten to confirmation that other characters will be involved in Resident Evil 9, and while we don't know how large or small a role these characters will play, this is fantastic news for us fans hoping to see some legacy characters who were intimately tied to the Raccoon City incident and its games potentially featured in this next mainline title. From Leon to Jill, Claire Redfield to even Hunk and beyond, these are all beloved characters that certainly have a chance to be featured here in Resident Evil Requiem. No, definitely don't expect Leon to be a playable protagonist here because of this statement, at least until Capcom confirms it themselves. But this is a great sign that longtime Resident Evil fans will certainly enjoy getting to see some iconic characters back in Raccoon City. I mean, who would be mad if Hunk makes an appearance in Resident Evil 9? Go watch his lore here in this video in case Hunk appears in RE9, but be sure to return to this video as we've got some more interesting things to cover. Chief among them is the confirmation that there will be no merchant character in Resident Evil Requiem. This likely means that any inventory upgrades, weapon enhancements, and more will likely be done by the player as we progress through the game. Another fun component to the Resident Evil titles is the save room music, and in a question regarding this tradition and having unique save room music in each Resident Evil title, Masato Kumazawa confirmed that RE9 will indeed feature its own unique save room theme, even though he himself has not yet heard it. Finally, Well Played asked that with Requiem including characters from Outbreak, if we would ever see Capcom revisit Outbreak or that style of game in the future, the Resident Evil producer gave us some promising words for the future of the Outbreak series. Unfortunately, at the moment, we don't have any plans of making games like those, but maybe if there are lots of user needs, or there's a need from the gamers, or they want more like Outbreak, then maybe yes. I personally would like Outbreak, and maybe eventually down the road, I would like to make one, but at the moment, no. This is fantastic news for those of us who enjoyed Outbreak in File 2 back in the day, so while Capcom may not have plans to revive these games right now, just hearing that there is interest at Capcom is exciting enough. Kumazawa went further with, quote, in saying that, "You don't need to play Resident Evil Outbreak to enjoy Resident Evil Requiem. In fact, the only knowledge that you'll need is that the main character Grace Ashcroft is the daughter of Alyssa Ashcroft, who featured in Outbreak. I just want to make that clear." That goes without saying that those who played the Outbreak titles will likely pick up on some references and Easter eggs that may be sprinkled into Resident Evil 9, but that Outbreak by no means is a required play to enjoy this upcoming title. That was a lot right there. From the dispelling of the recent Leon leaks and rumors, to PC performance optimization being a priority, like it always should have, out of the gate, to various aspects clarified about Resident Evil 9, like the confirmation of cameos and appearances from previous Resident Evil characters, and more. We've got a lot to look forward to in Resident Evil 9, including potentially an appearance from Hunk, right? Follow me over into this video as we dive deep into the incredible lore and backstory of Resident Evil's biggest badass. And yeah, got nothing else for you. I look forward to seeing you all real soon in the next one.